I'm Lisa Martin with Pampered Chef. Welcome to my Keto Kitchen. I hope you all had a great Easter. Sunday we had a wonderful day. We had a great Easter crowd, a packed house, and a nice, we had like a little play too, and it was really good. And it was real busy all week trying to get ready to cook everything to get it ready for Sunday. Because in the pastor's home, as you know, my husband's been pastoring for 37 years, it's always a busy week, and I just love Easter. It's right up there by Christmas, and so this week we're going to kind of do a little bit more relaxing. I saw a recipe on the Pioneer Woman, and what I did is I sat down and I made it into keto, and it is so good. So I thought I'd share it with you. I'm real excited about this. This has been on my wish list for so long. It's the Pampered Chef Brownie Pan, but you can also make little omelets in it. You can make little pizzas in it. It is good for a lot of things. So I finally was able to earn this, and I'm so excited about having it. You might want to add this to yours too, your kitchen too. But anyways, we're going to be using that, and that way it's already, they're already measured for me and everything. So that's a good thing for me, because as I told you before, I'm very serving size challenged. I like to think the whole cake is for me, not just one little piece. I've done better with the keto because you get fuller faster. So that really helps a lot too. But I'm going to show you how to make it homemade and brownies, and it won't take no time to make, and then that way you don't have to worry about it having all those carbs in it. So here we go. We're going to be using the Everyday Pan, the Pampered Chef Everyday Pan that I earned in my kit, that came in my kit. It's a one pan wonder, which I love. So it should take, we just use one pan, and so that there right there is for me. You start with 2 sticks of butter, which anything that starts with 2 sticks of butter cannot be bad. So I'm excited. You start with melting 2 sticks of butter in your pan. There's nothing in my pan, and I didn't grease it because there's no point. They'll get plain grease with these 2 sticks of butter. Alrighty. They're just the regular butter, that you buy. So I'm going to let those sit there for a minute. While those are sitting there and they are dissolving, I'm going to let them, I'm going to use our wonderful spatulas. These are awesome, and like I said, I've had this one for 10 years. It looks brand new. I put it in the dishwasher all the time. But when I went to Dollar Tree this week, I'm going to let that, you can see the butter's melting. I found these little snacks. And you might say, well, $1 is quite a bit, but really, it's great and it's handy because it goes in your purse. So I try to look for handy things too that are good for that. And you can have the whole bag. It's only, there's 2 servings, and it's less than 1 carb. So say 1 carb for both servings. Because you only get 4 olives, but you're going to eat the whole thing because it's really good. It is really good. And for Dollar Tree, so I really like that. Now today we're going to be using the spray olive oil, and you know that I don't like, it's been confirmed that I don't like using this because I'm trying to eat healthier too, not just the keto but also healthier. I'm not 100% keto in the fact that I eat everything that's like the butter's grass fed and I buy everything organic. I just didn't feel like that is what I could do. So what I do is I use the keto. It's probably called dirty keto because sometimes I do use this spray, and I think this spray is a no-no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop these pieces of butter around too. I'm going to be using the Lilly's. It calls for chocolate chips, and I'm going to be using the Lilly's chocolate chips. They're awesome. You can eat them just as a snack, and because they are sweetened with stevia. So when I add these, those are low carb, and I try to keep an extra bag around. And they are a little on the pricey side, but you don't use as many of them, and you don't use them that often. So, I figure. And these are things that I've added after I started. I didn't start with those, paying that for them. I did something else. And I just did it a little bit at a time because I didn't feel like I could afford to just, do it all at once. And so I just did it as I could. And I ate the low carb. I didn't have much of a, very many recipes because I couldn't get all the things that I needed for those. And I looked for easy recipes because I know myself, even if it's, no matter what, I'm not going to make something if it takes, as many ingredients as long as my arm. I know me, I'm not going to do it, but I surely am not going to do it if I have to buy special ingredients. So I looked for easy easy recipes, and that I could make quickly, and that I could make one serving so that I would not overeat. And so that's the things that I looked for. And as I did that, then every week I would add to my, whatever I have, I would add something else to it that I could get, so that I could build up, a new pantry, because what I had in my pantry, it was all processed food. And it's a really great thing when you can eat healthy and make it and know that you're not eating a bunch of preservatives that they're putting in our food. I mean, watch The Magic Pill on YouTube. They have it. And I think somebody said it was on Netflix. It is a real eye-opener. Okay, this is all done. So I'm going to turn it on low. I'm going to add 5 ounces. And I'm like, what's 5 ounces? Oops. I want my butter to, I think I added a little bit too high there. Okay, so anyways, I thought, what the heck's 5 ounces? Thank God for this. This is a Pampered Chef item, and they have everything from ounces to milligrams to tablespoons to cups. So I'm just going to pour them in here. And you can get extra because this is 9 carbs for about 60 chips. But you just fill it up, and then you just pour it in there. Okay? I'll just add a couple more for good measure. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it all up. Okay? And let that melt. Let those chips melt. Okay? And one thing good about this pan is when you turn it off, it still cooks. I mean, it still cooks for a little bit. So you can actually turn it off. Now, it's not turned off right now, but you can actually turn it off a little ahead of when everything's done. And it will actually, cook for a little bit. So if you're cooking with it, now this I wouldn't do, but this smells so awesome. Oh my, if you're a chocolate lover, you got to try this, okay? All right, the next thing that I've got to add is 1/4 cup. And these aren't Pampered Chef, but I am going to get them. The measuring cups, and you just use the old-fashioned Hershey's, unsweetened. You use 1/4 cup of it, and you can be, you don't have to be right on. I like recipes that are forgiving, that you don't have to be right on. So I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to mix well. Okay, just make sure that don't stick, which it doesn't. It's got plenty of butter. It's not going to stick, that's for sure. But as you can see, I'm getting quite a mixture here. Oh, it looks so good. I'm going to mix it up real good. Oh, it smells good. I love chocolate. And you can add things to this. Strawberries. If you had extra strawberries, you could add that to it. I mean, you could add whatever you want to it. This is just what so. I'm getting myself a good mixture here. Now it's almost done, and it has to set for 5 minutes because you don't want to put your eggs in right now. They'll cook. And then you'll have, instead of it helping your cooking, it will fry them for you. So it has to sit for a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off so it can still continue to cook. And I told you those had 9 grams of carbs in them, these Lilly's. for 60 chips, which is quite a few. It's 14 grams. But then you have 4 grams of fiber, so you take 9 minus 4 for the fiber, that gives you 5. It has 3 grams of erythritol, so it actually is 1 carb for 60 of these. It's a great snack. It is really a great snack. Okay, and it's boiling up, so I'm just going to... Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off of the burner, because I have an electric stove here, and I don't want it to keep cooking. So it takes a few minutes for the burner to get off, so I'm just going to take it off for a minute. But it looks so good, and it smells so good. Alrighty. Now, I've got everything else set aside. When you buy something from Pampered Chef, I really, really like it because I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. You get a piece of paper inside of each one. And what it does is it tells you how to use your pan. Like it says when you get it to wash it. So I've washed it real good. But it also will tell you how much heat you can put into it. Just all your tips. So I really, really love that they do that with everything that you buy. So you buy something and you don't know, well, how high can I put this in the oven if I want to make something more than this? This goes on 350. And it's going to be in there for 25 minutes. But when I saw this, I thought, man, I have got to make this, because there's times when you just want something chocolatey. And there are lots of things out there, but they're kind of costly too. So, okay, I'm using our silicone prep bowls. These come in a set of 3 with lids. I absolutely love them. And I've already put the eggs in there. So those are going to be in there, but I'm waiting to cool. But see how far that went? I mean, this goes along, this little bag goes a long ways of the Lillies. So, okay. Just 1 second. And we're going to be putting almond flour, of course, in it instead of regular flour. And I'm just going to keep stirring this till the 5 minutes is up too, because it's kind of boiling up a little bit. It looks amazing. You've got to see. Whew. I love this everyday pan because you can use it for all these one pan recipes, and it goes up to high heat. You can put it from here to the oven. You can make it on here and then make it into a casserole. You can take it from here and put it on its base, and it becomes a crock pot. So it is a great thing. Okay, our 5 minutes is almost up. My husband makes fun of me because I use the old-fashioned timers, but I just like them. I don't know. Okay, so now we're going to add 2 cups of sugar. And I just am using this Exitol, and it's 4 carbs for a teaspoon. But it's got 4 sugar alcohol, so it's 0. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a cup of that. I mean 2 cups of that, I'm sorry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Now this you have to take on and off, okay? So I'm going to use 2 cups of sugar. And so you got to put it on the other way. If you use it one way, it's for liquids, and if you use the other way, it's for the powder. So it's so easy to use. And even though it's not something sticky, I use this for everything. I just love this measuring. And there's 3 sizes to it. So I'm getting the other 2. And just measure it up, okay? This. I can use 2 of them. But now she does use a lot of sugar. And up to this point, we haven't used much sugar. It wouldn't taste very good with this Hershey's powder, and of course the 2 sticks of butter would be awesome. So I'm just going to use a little less. I use about 2 cups though, is what I use. And this is 1 for 1. Like if the recipe calls for 1 cup, then you use 1 cup of this. But some of them you have to read the back of them because they don't you might not use as much of it. You don't need as much of it. So now I'm going to add this to it. Okay, and now we got some sugar going too. Oh, it looks so good and smells so good. Just mix that around. And that will also cool the hot chocolate there. And so therefore when we put the eggs in, it will be cooled. But the sugar's helping to cool it. So 2 sticks of butter, anything with 2 sticks of butter can't go wrong. And then chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that it's really mixed good. And I like to mix my brownies by hand because that way I know that they're getting the mixing that they need, and I'm mixing them clear through, but yet they're not beaten. I don't know, brownies just, I don't like them beaten that much. Okay, I'm going to have the recipe below. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and share my videos. And I'm making new ones all the time, so watch them all and like them all. Thanks, I appreciate it. The next thing I'm going to put in is 1 tablespoon of vanilla, and I'm just going to, but this is so forgiving that I actually put a little bit more in. I just give an extra squirt or 2 because you can't go wrong with that. Now I'm going to make sure, I like to make sure before I put anything else in, because you want to make sure that it's all mixed in. Sure it's all mixed in. I'll tell you, this right here would be worth me having a virtual party over. Those virtual parties are so good, so much fun, and you get free stuff. Of course, you can also join. They have 3 different levels of people joining. It starts at $109. I think you get like over $300 in free product. And it's pre-selected. It's not something you can choose, but it's awesome. And then the $159, I think, is over $600 in free product. And then there's one for $259 that's over $1,000. So, okay, so we've got all this mixed in. Let me look at my recipe. Okay, now I need 3 eggs. So what I'm going to do is I've got them in here. And I'm just going to put 1 in at a time so I can mix them, because you know how and what's good is that you can squeeze this. It has a spout on it, and you just squeeze 1 egg at a time. Because I don't want to, I've got this thing about eating raw eggs. So I pour 1 in at a time. You make a big mess when you cook? I do. Okay, so I've got that 1 egg in, and I'm going to make sure it's mixed up really, really good. And you can see this is a good mixture. Okay, so I've got that mixed up. Now I'm going to squeeze this again and put the 2nd egg in. Okay. And right away I like to get the yolk so that I know that the yolk has been broken. And see, it's not cooking it. So that was a good thing. We had to let this cool so that they wouldn't get cooked. Okay, and now I'm just going to pour in the 3rd one. Okay. Alrighty. Let me just mix this up really good. And these silicone spatulas, they come in like a set of 3, and they're so inexpensive. I mean, they last for, this one I've had probably 10 years, and I don't, so I mean, I think they come in a set of $30 for 3 of them, but they're so worth it to add to your kitchen. Okay, we've got it all mixed in. As you can see, we've got it mixed up. Doesn't that look amazing? Okay, one last thing is 1/4 of a cup of flour. And I got this at Dollar Tree, and I just put it, I just put it in here, my almond flour, because I buy it 4 and 5 pounds at a time at Walmart. So, that way I can just put it in this, and I don't have to keep carrying the big one. So what I do is I just, like I say, these are not the measuring spoons from Pampered Chef, but I'm going to be getting those. I've gotten so much. I think last month I made an average of $50 a week, not going anywhere, just doing parties, virtual parties. I have not done 1 party out. And then this month, it's been about $75 a week. And again, I have not gone anywhere. I've done all virtual parties, and I've gotten so much free. And then I just found out that I'm going to be getting another $100 in free, that I can pick whatever I want from Pampered Chef. They pamper their hosts and their consultants like you would. When they picked the name, they picked it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in there. Now I have a sifter somewhere, but does stuff disappear at your house? My house, stuff, all of a sudden something disappears. And so I didn't sift this. It's been sifted, but I like to get it really coarse because it just does better mixing it. So, but I didn't have that today for some reason. It's walked away or whatever. But Pampered Chef has a really, really good sifter. And I like to sift the flour and the sugar before I put it in here, but I didn't today. So, anyways, I'll have to hunt that up, and I didn't have time to hunt that up this morning. But now what I'm doing is I'm going to just get a little bit more rigorous because I want to make sure that the almond flour gets mixed in. And they have a big bag of the fine sifted at Sam's, but I had already bought this and I couldn't afford to throw it away. So when I use this up, then I'll go back to Sam's and I'll get that finely sifted almond flour. The coconut flour is much, much cheaper, but there's not as many recipes for it. So I haven't had time to really sit down and work with it to say, and you use less of it. When I first started, I could only afford the coconut flour, so that's what I bought. And I thought you used it 1 for 1. And then all of a sudden, and it tastes fine. And then all of a sudden I found out that, no, it's not like that. Okay, so we've got us a nice mixture. Don't that look so good? And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray 3 wells at a time of the brownie pan. And I just spray it real good. And then I'm going to take this scoop. These are awesome. And I'm going to fill up in each one for my, just fill it. I'm going to fill it to the top because you can fill it halfway. You can fill it full. You can do whatever you want. But I want these to be full brownies. So I'm going to fill them almost to the top. Okay, you can watch me. Okay. And there. I used 2 of these medium scoops. Anyways, I'm going to finish the pan up, and then I will bake it for 350. I'll put the recipe down below and everything that I used. There's also a website down there that you can order anything that I'm using or anything else that you want. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe and share my videos. Have a great day.